This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our partner, Audible.
Yes, it is. So we are partnered with Audible. That means that if you are looking just to check it out, you don't want to put your card in and just take the dive. You can get 30 days for free on us. If you go to audibletrial.com/JATG or click the link down below, you'll be taken there. You can sign up for 30 days for free and just test it out. Like there's a lot of stuff on there that you can get for free, a lot of Audible exclusives. But what I really like about Audible is that out of the hundreds and thousands of audiobooks that they have, if you decide to purchase something, that is yours forever. Like if you decide not to carry on your subscription or you want to take a break or whatever it is, you can always go back and listen to that book whenever you want through the app on the internet. Doesn't matter because it's yours. So once again, you can get that for 30 days for free on us if you go to audibletrial.com/JATG.
It's taken a while, actually. And here we are.
We're on.
Boom. Twitch.
It's there.
Johnny and the Greg. Oh my goodness. We are here, Greg. And
It's been since like Easter. Since
it has. It has. It's been a while. It's been a while. So the people out there that have been hoping and dreaming for Johnny and the Greg. We're back. And you know what? Life just took over and it was hard to get back on. So
You've been busy.
I have been busy. I wouldn't say you haven't been busy, but you haven't.
Well, no,
Maybe you
no,
haven't been out of the country busy like me, but
right. That is true. And
yeah.
I better let people know that we're here.
Yes.
Because it is not our normal Sunday night. It is Monday.
No, it is Monday. Happy Memorial Day for those of you that celebrate it. I don't know what American doesn't, even if you don't really know what it's for. Shame on you. But this is the unofficial start of summer. That's how I've always looked at it.
Yeah, it's not the meteorological start of summer, but
No.
most people think of it this way.
Yeah. Did you do anything besides barbecue and
Nothing. We did
not a
nothing.
damn thing?
Nothing.
Not even a movie. Not even a movie.
Nope. We hung out at home, and that was it. My wife was just like, because of the nature of her job, she's like, I'm not exactly off. Like she's deadline driven, so
Okay.
she's like, there's people wanting things tomorrow, and I was like, okay, so we're not doing anything. And like even yesterday, like we did the normal Sunday stuff.
Yeah.
And she was just like, yeah, I'm not up for hanging out or doing anything. I was like, okay. So, and like we had some friends that were kind of interested in doing something, but do you ever feel like you and your wife are just a complete match set? And that like when people invite you over somewhere, they're really inviting both of you over.
Yeah,
And so like if you were to go by yourself, it would seem weird.
yes. Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're going.
So
Yes.
so that was the thing. I mean, people are, they're like, hey, do you want to do a barbecue or something like that? And I was like, yeah, maybe let me talk to the wife. And then when she was like, that's a pass, I was like, well, I'm not gonna go over by myself. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you said that because there are probably maybe only two groups in the entire world at this point in my life where I would feel like it's okay without Ursula, and that would be
Mhm.
like with you, like if we're
Yeah.
just doing a guys' weekend or the thing that we got coming up, or if I had dinner with Farah and Jen, that would
Yeah.
be about it. Other than that, it is like, well, Ursula's coming. Like, it's almost like you don't even need to invite her. Like, she's
Right.
coming. Like, yeah. So, yeah, definitely that. So that's unique.
And anytime like you and I have hung out
Yeah.
like without our wives plenty of times.
hmm
And like if we lived closer, that would probably happen more often.
Probably.
And
We might get in trouble. We'd hang out a little bit
maybe,
too much.
but like, I mean, the other guy I hang out with the most in person,
Yeah.
like that's like it's almost like a we have to plan that. Like it's like, or when I say plan that, it's more like a, do you want to go grab cocktails, me and you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Um, and then he and I will do that, but it's, I mean, it's just few and far between that I hang out without my wife, which I think is good.
I agree,
Um,
actually.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
because we
agree
do
with
have enough time apart that it's not like I'm attached, but
that. Yeah, I
well,
think
that's
Greg,
that's not how it works. But
you and I are both lucky enough to where we don't look at our wives as a ball and chain.
yeah, like there's plenty of dudes out there that are like, oh, you got to get away from the wife, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't ever
Yeah.
really feel like that's something I
I
want to do.
actually enjoy talking to her. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like if I want to go hang out, I'd rather her be with me.
Right.
And if she doesn't want to go out, and it's not always, there are times where I want to go out and she doesn't, but for the bulk of it, I would rather sit on the couch and do nothing with her than
Right.
be out
I hear you. Because
with other people.
in actuality, it's not nothing.
No,
It's
it's not.
it's reconnecting. It's especially you and I have had a talk recently about how parenthood can
Oh, yeah.
it can take you down a river
Hmm.
that's kind of hard to get off. And so when you have those opportunities to pull the boat aside, take them,
Hmm. Hmm.
And so, yeah, so the idea of pizza, a beer, and a Netflix night, that's great.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything really
And
better.
we're at a spot, I mean, because all of our kids are older, or all of my kids are older, that I certainly could, we could be like, you know what, let's go grab drinks, just us.
Yeah.
But the truth is, we've never done that. Like that
No?
has never, no, not really.
No.
That is never like, even pre-kids,
Yeah.
that wasn't our MO to
Okay.
go to just go hang out at a bar, just the two of us.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we've just never
Okay.
really done that. Now,
I
now
get,
maybe we should. I mean, and that's the other thing. It's like maybe we
well,
should.
do you guys go out to dinner?
Not as much as, well, yeah, I say not as much as we used to, but
Well, I
we
mean, I just
do.
when I think of going to a bar,
Hmm.
like I picture you and me closing it down in a sense,
Right. Yeah.
but I personally I don't think Ursula and I would ever do that. So I'm with you on that. But if we
Yeah.
go to just me and her, 9 times out of 10 we're sitting at the bar ordering dinner, food,
Yeah.
dinner, drinks, and then we go home.
Hmm.
So, but
Yeah.
like, yeah,
And
we don't
we
bar
need to
hop
do
or nothing.
more of that. Yeah. No, there's no bar hopping. I mean,
Yeah,
we will go to dinner, but even so, it's not enough,
right.
or not often. Um, because every time we get that opportunity, we want to make like an event out of it,
Okay.
and we need to make it more of a, like, find your low cost or medium cost places where you can just go hang out and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we know we're not getting dressed up and going somewhere like extra special.
Hmm.
And if all we're gonna do is go grab a burger somewhere at a mid restaurant, that's okay too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Is Krista a burger person?
She can be. Yeah.
Okay. So she enjoys a burger?
Yeah. In fact, I brought home Five Guys not too long ago, which
Okay.
I called, and I had my daughter with me, and my daughter didn't want to go to Five Guys. So I took her, she wanted a Chick-fil-A. So we did Chick-fil-A, but right next to Chick-fil-A is Five Guys.
Five Guys. Got
And
it.
I'm like, I'm going there.
Yeah.
So I come back with a Five Guys burger and fries. And so my daughter goes into the living room, and Chris is like, oh, what'd you get? And Lane's like, oh, I got Chick-fil-A, and Chris is not a Chick-fil-A person.
Okay.
And
Really? She's not.
no,
Okay.
something, I mean, their fries are good, but
Yeah.
yeah, something about the whatever, I don't know, the breading or something they use just doesn't do for her.
Okay.
But she's like, Greg, did you get five, or did you get Chick-fil-A? I'm like, no, I went to Five Guys. She went, oh, like I called you and asked if there's anywhere else that you wanted me to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, but still for just me at Five Guys. Oh, and I did get a shake for my daughter. It's like $35.
Yeah, things are getting expensive out there.
Yeah. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Greg, I don't know enough about this. I don't pretend to know enough about this, and I don't really want to go down this path. So a simple yes or no will do. Is it a tariff thing?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. There's more at play than just that,
Yeah.
but it is the state of the union.
Okay.
And you like if you want to look at the long run or the historical data, whatever, we are not better off now than we were 6 months ago or a year ago or whatever.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, that
we could
sounds
talk a
fun.
lot about that offline.
Yeah. I will not, but that's okay. I'd rather talk to you about silly things that don't matter in the world.
Yeah.
But I actually saw Mission Impossible.
Did you really?
I did. I
Wow.
saw Final Reckoning.
You
Um,
saw, and I did not. Like that's
yeah, it's weird. I know, I get it. Um, okay, so I guess I'll be the Greg for this episode here. Okay, so I know how you are. I think quote me, stop me if I'm wrong, but I feel you almost put Mission Impossible in the same category as Fast and the Furious.
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't. I
Right.
thoroughly love them. I'm a
And,
big fan of those guys.
and by the way, I don't fault anybody who loves Fast and the Furious. Like,
Oh, I
good for
do.
you.
Something's wrong with you.
Well,
Um,
I did enjoy the last Mission Impossible, like the part one of
yes,
this one.
yes,
Like I watched it when it finally ended up on a streaming service, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
that's pretty good.
Um,
And I guess I could have went and seen it this
yeah,
weekend, but
yeah.
I just didn't.
I will say this about it. Being a big time Mission Impossible fan, I think they peaked from Rogue Nation to Dead Reckoning, and then it falls off.
Okay.
In this movie that came out, look, it's good. I'll say that. I don't owe it money. It doesn't owe me money, but I will not pay to see it again.
Mm.
Um, it's a lot of, I would say the first hour is a lot of exposition
Oh.
where the characters are telling you what's going to happen and they're setting up the stage. And then you get into the stunts and the
Uh-huh.
action, and that's when it really picks up. And I think it's good at that point. Um, you almost got the sense when you were watching this that my God, this is the final one. They are saying their goodbyes. They are tying up loose ends that I don't even know if they were really loose ends. They just
Yeah.
it seemed like they shoehorned things in there.
Uh-huh.
Um and it was not the height of the Mission Impossibles. Like I've said, I think the best ones are I believe it's Mission Impossible basically from Ghost Protocol, which is Mission Impossible 4 all the way to Dead Reckoning, which is 7. So 4 to
Oh,
7 I think is
okay.
the peak of Mission Impossible.
And hour and a half, you said, is that the midpoint? Is it a 3 hour movie?
Yeah, it's pretty much a 3 hour
Okay,
movie.
3 hour.
It didn't drag on, in my opinion,
Okay.
but it made me go, wow, we're talking a lot about the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, you're really just letting us know. And the one thing that I feel they did, and I understood where they were going coming from a guy like me who likes to I could see myself writing this screenplay and go, oh, you know what? We should tie every goddamn Mission Impossible that has ever existed and tied into this movie. And somebody should have been there to go, no, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We're good. We don't have to do that. We don't have to bring back guys from part one and, things like that. And they did that. And they tried, but there were some instances where I was just kind of like, And this is funny, Greg, because if you watch Mission Impossible, it's in the stunt wise, it's just like Fast and the Furious, where disbelief happens. But for some reason, because Tom's actually doing them,
Mm-hmm.
there's almost this believe you almost believe it a little bit more. There's a time in this where you go, I'm sorry, man, the human body just couldn't handle that. It's just no, it's just not going to happen. And I was telling Ursula this as we were discussing. I was like, I gave it 1% chance I believed it. and I just let that happen. Most of the time, like, look, I get the whole idea of climbing the tallest tower with technology that doesn't really exist, but you bought into it because most of Mission Impossible's technology doesn't exist. But as far as I know, but it it felt like the end, which is kind of sad because I feel like Mission Impossible should never really end. In fact, Tom Cruise said, "I will gladly hand over the reins to Glenn Powell
Okay.
to carry it on." And I'm like, I'm cool with that. And then Ursula had the bright idea. She goes, "What if you make a girl Ethan Hunt and do that girl from the John Wick movie, the ballerina? Why don't you make her the
Okay.
next Ethan Hunt?" I was like, that works for me.
It would, but I think too many people. I mean, do you mean like actually make her Ethan Hunt? Like make
No, no, no,
her
no, 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 no. Just
make her the new
she,
team lead?
yes, she's the new team lead
Okay.
with her whole team. However
And
they
that
want to go with it.
and stop it, Clay. Um,
What do you
and that
think?
would be, he said,
Oh.
girls because girls ruin everything. No, they don't. Boobs are always good.
Girls are awesome.
Always.
By the
Always.
way, Haley Atwater, God, she has a big
Oh,
heart.
she's a huge heart.
She
And
has
I
a big heart,
like to see it.
and I
Um,
appreciate it.
the so with going back to Glenn Powell, do you think Glenn Powell would be Ethan Hunt, or would
He's
he?
at no, no, no. I think he'd be somebody different. He's
Okay,
actually said, now I don't know if he's playing around,
right.
and money solves most issues when it comes to that shit. But he said, "Are you insane? I couldn't live through this stuff that Tom Cruise does." Now,
Well,
look, Tom
as,
Cruise is
far as
fucking nuts.
as far as doing your own stunts go, no, I don't
Yes,
think anybody should.
yeah,
Like
Tom
Tom
Cruise.
Cruise shouldn't.
Yeah, let me just say this real quick because this is the final, and he even does this thing before the movie even starts where he thanks the audience for being here, watching it
Mm-hmm.
out in the cinema. This is a guy who you can tell truly his first love is making movies.
Right.
Now, I actually think he's a kook that is probably he probably thinks he's a god because the way Scientology kisses his ass. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure he think he has a god complex. I'm almost certain of it. This guy is one of the I think he's one of the best movie stars of all time. Movie stars. I think he's a good actor. I think he's a hell of a movie star. Every movie I go to watch, I would say 8 out of 10 times I love what he's in.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy's a great movie maker. And the things he does for Mission Impossible, he's a fucking loon, but you appreciate it. Just like you would
Mm-hmm.
appreciate Jackie Chan when he does it.
Yeah.
I think you're watching an artist do his thing, and I appreciate that. Now, I can separate the actual man from the movie man. It only took me 40 years to do that, folks, but I finally did it. And I can separate those two and appreciate what he puts out because you can tell he puts great care behind everything he does when it comes to movies. Um, I think he's amazing, and I want to tell Glenn Powell if you're listening because I know we're that popular. Glenn, do Mission Impossible. I love to see you do it. I think he's a fun actor. I enjoy everything he's in. I don't necessarily enjoy the movies, but I enjoy his part in whatever movie he's usually in. I think he's a fun actor to I guess follow. I guess you would say. You don't have to do the stunts that Tom does. Just have a stunt double. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it was probably like episode 7 or something like the when we started this, almost 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That you and I had it out about Tom Cruise, where I was like, I hate Tom Cruise. And you're like, no, you don't. And I'm like, yeah. And then I had to pick it apart. And you're right. Yeah. Like I do enjoy most of his films. There are a couple that I was just like, it didn't hit
Vanilla
with me.
Sky, whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah. That was one I watched once.
Yes.
Don't really feel a need to watch it again.
Nope.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Nope.
Don't need to watch it again.
Nope.
It was Minority Report. I've given it a couple shots, and I don't enjoy it as much as I think other people do.
Yeah, I enjoy that one.
But you're right. He is nuts. Like he is off his rocker in his personal life, nuts.
Yep.
And he exists on a different level than everybody else. I was just I was watching something. I think it was somebody who's in the film, and I don't know, one of the female leads. He was like, Tom gives gifts to his co-stars
Yes.
when they rap. And she had said during one of their conversations, she's like, I've never been skydiving. I think I'd like to go skydiving someday.
Uh-oh.
And so as his gift,
Yeah.
he gave her, like, he's like, I called my guys, and here's their name, their number. Set this up. They're going to do private skydiving lessons with you, and you're going to be a certified skydiver, which is 28 jumps.
Jesus.
And so, like, she went through the certification to be where she can go solo.
Do you know what girl you're
skydiving.
talking about?
And I don't. She had
You
dark
don't,
hair.
okay.
I mean, I'd have to go back and look at the cast list.
Okay.
But she goes and she gets certified as a skydiver. And on her last jump, the guys let Tom Cruise know, hey, this is her last day.
Yeah.
He flew in on his plane, landed, got out, geared up, did her last like 9 or 10 jumps with her. And then when they were done, he's like, hey, this was great. She's like, thank you so much. And then he got in his plane, took off, and went home. I'm like, who exists like that? I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
you're right. You're right. There is
like, I mean, Tom Cruise isn't nearly as rich as like Jeff Bezos,
Right.
or Meta guy,
Right.
whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
But they don't do that shit. They
Yeah.
don't live that. I mean, they could if they wanted to, but they don't. But
Yeah.
Tom does.
Yeah. He and look, it's a joke. He knows it's a joke. But can you name a better actor that can run?
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
really good. Like when he runs, I watch it. I'm like, okay.
he's a fast runner at
Yeah.
60 something years old. The dude
Yeah.
can book. I mean,
That's another
I mean,
thing.
like
62 years old this guy
62,
is.
yeah.
I hope I move like that at 62.
Oh, I don't move like that at 47. There's no,
Same,
and I
same.
didn't move like that at 42, let alone 60.
I agree with you there too.
And I did. So I used to teach with a guy who said he met Tom Cruise one time. Like he
Okay.
was at some thing. And Tom Cruise was there. I said, what was that like? He's like, well, I moving up, and somebody's like, that's Tom Cruise right over there. And I look, he's like, and here is this
Short little guy.
diminutive, like,
Yeah.
just because he's like 5'2".
Yes, he's really short.
He is super short. And he's like, and you're looking at the back of him, you're like, that little thing
That's
is
Tom Cruise.
that's Tom Cruise. And then he said he turned around and he was smiling, and then he's like, Tom Cruise smiling in your direction, and you're like, oh my god, oh my god.
You know, it's funny you said that. Nick Offerman, I was just watching an interview with him. He's in the last Mission Impossible. He's
Really? Okay.
plays a general, and he goes, I was on the set, I've heard all this stuff about Tom Cruise, and he goes, and I work with him, and he goes, I'm not in any scene with Tom Cruise. Actually, I'm sorry, he was in one scene. He goes, I get home from my day of shooting, and I walk up to my wife and I say, I'm sorry, I love Tom Cruise. she goes, what? He goes, he was just talking to me, and you find yourself going, yeah. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just get involved with him, and like
Yeah.
I guess he just sucks you in, and I can see that. Like I can see
he's
me. And
charismatic as hell.
what I can see, Greg, is you and me going to meet him one day, right?
Yeah,
And
sure.
me just falling over myself, and you trying to be like, all right, stay cool, John. Oh, hi, Tom. Like I think it would just happen to you, and you wouldn't know
Yeah.
what would happen to you.
There's another story. Not that this is all Tom Cruise love fest today.
Yes, yes. No, actually,
Jake
because
Johnson.
we've ripped on him a lot.
Yeah, really.
but-
Jake Johnson, who was his biggest thing that I got to know him through, was a show called The New Girl.
Yeah, great guy. I like him.
Great. Yeah, he's super hilarious. He's the
Yes.
voice of Peter B. Parker and the Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse films.
Yes.
And they did The Mummy together.
Yes, they did it, which I think I like that movie. But that's
Again,
just,
one of those movies that didn't hit with broader audiences.
Yeah.
But as a
I liked
standalone
it.
film, I'm like,
yeah,
terrible.
not bad. I'll watch it folding laundry.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But Jake Johnson's in that, and he said he's got a great story. You can go look it up. he got the contract and he didn't want to do it. Like he had already signed it, and then he got his workout schedule for this part, which is really not a physical role, but
Yeah, it's
Tom
not at
wanted
all.
him to be in tip top shape.
Yeah,
He's like, and I've never worked out. Like, I'm not a workout guy. I'm not a gym guy.
yeah,
I watch what I eat, but that's it.
right.
And he's like, I've never been a runner. I've never been in a weight room. And he's like, he was putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then finally he gets a letter uh or he gets a phone call from somebody like, well, Tom would like to speak with you. And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, well, could you at least come? And like, he's like, so I've got Tom Cruise saying, can you just come talk to me quick? And
Yeah,
he's like, meet me somewhere. And he's like, the meeting somewhere was at an airport where he was then boarding a private plane to jet over to somewhere and then land, and then was taken in a very nice car to wherever Tom was shooting. I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
And for his meeting with Tom. And he's like, and I sit down with him. Tom had just gotten shooting a scene, and he's like, we're in like his mega trailer or something in his office. And he's like, look, I hear you're having issues with some of the workout guys. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to get you my private chef. I'm going to get you my private chef, and they're going to make sure that your intake and your caloric intake is all good. I'm going to get you my 3 private trainers that I'm like my personal guys. So he's just
yes,
setting Jake up.
yes, yeah,
And he's like, so if I do all that for you, do you think, I mean, he's like, just for a month, give me 30 days with those guys. If you still don't want to do it at the end of that, I understand. But after 30 days, do you think we can talk again? And Jake Johnson's like, yeah.
like, what are you gonna do?
Totally folded. He's like, and after 30 days, and like, I'm into it, I'm doing the stuff. He formed habits and everything.
Yeah,
And then it's after 30 days, they start rehearsals or something.
yeah,
He's like, so now you're just in it. Like, there's
yeah,
no backing out. Tom
right.
totally played him,
Yeah,
but it was Tom Cruise.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
that's kind of funny.
The last thing I'll let you in before
Move
this
on
turns
from
in,
Tom.
yeah, yeah, is Simon Pegg, who I've grown
Oh,
to
I
really love.
love that guy.
Yeah, he showed up for the movie. It's Mission Impossible Fallout with Henry Cavill,
Yep.
and they didn't know this, but Simon Pegg got in the best shape of his life for that role.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to the point where he got an 8-pack, and
Ooh.
Tom and Henry were comparing abs. So
Yeah.
Simon said he walked up and showed them, and they went, "Holy shit, we didn't ask you to do this. Holy shit." So they called him 8-pack.
8-pack bag.
Yeah, yeah, eight-pack Peggins or something like that. They nicknamed him 8-pack Peggins the rest of the trip. So I thought you would get a kick out of that because I know how much
Oh,
you like
I
him.
love Simon Pegg. I love Simon Pegg. I love Nick Frost.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
huge. I've learned to really enjoy Simon Pegg, especially when he did Star Trek. He did,
So good.
yeah, he was so good at Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Bringing
and
the
then
humor to that film. Yeah.
yeah, and the
Really
fact
good.
that he just added such a fun dimension to Mission Impossible for all those with Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Yeah.
was he
And
was
that's,
fantastic.
I really didn't, the first Mission Impossible film, I think I liked it at the time, but I
Yeah,
go back and watch it. It's a bit of a slog for me now. The second one I did not like, the John Woo film.
right.
Like,
I
didn't,
can understand why. I
yeah.
rewatched all of them lately, and I was like,
Hmm.
part 2, I was like, oh God, I
Yeah.
love that movie, but I was like,
Like,
oh
and
man.
part 3, I don't even remember. Like, honestly,
Part 3, I was fine with. It was it-
who is the bad guy in 3?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
that's the
didn't care
first
for that
time
one.
Simon Pegg's introduced. He's like the geek in the chair.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, and then he
So,
makes it.
I think at that one, I was interested for Simon Pegg. I really don't think I enjoyed the film as much. But then the one after that, where it's Simon Pegg and uh Jeremy Renner
Yes,
is in it.
that's
I was
Ghost
like,
Protocol.
Ghost Rider. That's when I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
these are getting
that's when
pretty
he
good
climbs the
again.
building, the tallest building
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
world. Yes,
yeah.
all that. Yeah,
So
and
that
then
I did like. I just started to like it again.
yeah, I'm sure. Like I said, I don't think anybody would really argue with me, cousin Clay. I'd be anxious to hear what you say. Like I said, from Ghost Protocol to Dead Reckoning, that's the apex. It doesn't get any better than those movies. So it's like,
Um,
I think it goes Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, Fallout,
I
Dead
did
Reckoning.
hear that I believe that this Memorial Day weekend was the best box office ever.
They're praising Tom for that. Because
Well,
last
Tom did
summer
have,
he brought them back for Maverick. And what I mean by
but
brought them back, brought cinema back. Like
right,
people were going to the theaters.
but Tom did not have the biggest movie of the
Was it
weekend.
Lilo?
Lilo and Stitch.
Son of a bitch.
Tom brought in 70 million. And Lilo and Stitch, I believe, brought in 140 million,
Oh my God.
which,
Really?
from what I understand, is just Disney putting in minimal effort and running away. Like they destroyed Lilo and Stitch. Like people are pissed about that movie. Like
Really?
it completely ripped the heart out of the first one, or out of the original. And like
Really?
I don't want to ruin it. Like I can talk to you about it offline. I don't
Well,
want
I
ruin it
have
for
to
everybody,
take Gwen to go
but
see it next weekend. So
if you enjoyed the first one,
yeah, I didn't.
I believe you're going to hate this one. In
Okay.
which case, you're going to hate it even more because anything that you liked in the first one
Gone.
is gone. The messaging from the first one is shredded. So
is it just this blue little alien fucking around? That's all it
yeah,
is?
yeah, and like again,
Wow.
the messaging of like the messaging in the first one is Ohana means family. Family
Yeah.
trumps everything.
Yeah.
Not the case. So I'll leave it at that.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. So Greg, I've been this is hard. This is really hard actually.
We talked 30 minutes about Tom Cruise.
Yeah. But we have an announcement to make, folks. And it's not going the way that I thought it would, but such is life, really.
How did you think it was this was gonna go?
Well, I thought we'd have at least 2 episodes.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. Let me just start out with just ripping
Just rip the Band-Aid off, Shane.
Yeah, rip
Just
the
do it.
Band-Aid off. This is our final podcast for Johnny and the Greg. We're hate to say calling it quits, but that's what we're doing. We're not doing podcasts anymore.
When we started, and I should say when you started, because this was your brainchild that I was helping with, and then it became like I should be a permanent co-host.
Fixture, yeah.
And it went through a couple iterations, but the main thing was, I believe, and part of what talked me into this was, I think it was Joe Rogan, and not that we're big Joe Rogan heads, but his advice of like, do a podcast, do it for 6 years.
Yeah.
And after 6 years, if you're making money, keep doing it.
Yeah.
And if you're not making money, then you gave it a shot. And here we are, not making any money.
Yeah.
6 years later, not making any money.
Yeah.
Now we've had some great experiences. We've met some fantastic people that we never would have been able to reach out to and have conversations with.
I agreed.
And it's been a lot of fun. And I think a lot of the fun has been this. It's been you and I who, it's not that we were disconnected after college because but it was hills and valleys. But this was fantastic because I could count on for a while every Sunday night I was going to have a conversation with one of my best friends, and that was been fantastic.
Without a doubt. Yeah, you, as always, Greg, you were not only the man in the chair with manning all of the technology and shit behind us, but this podcast would never have been what it is if it wasn't for you. And I can't begin to thank you enough, and thank the idea that, because yes, we weren't disconnected. We would talk, I would say 4 times a year, and we talk for 3 hours when we would reconnect. Yeah. And this was an avenue we had where we sat there and we talked every Sunday for 6 years.
Yeah, every Sunday for 6 years, and then multiple times in the week.
Yeah,
just trying to figure out how to do this thing.
This podcast alone, if anything, yes, we didn't get any money for it, and we had, look, for the 50 people that were continuously, and look, like Greg laughs about that, but I mean, he shares the same sentiment as I do. the fact that you 50 people out there, and I know it's not all of our friends. There have been some strange pop-ups that have come up that
I
we're
don't
like,
know anybody in Bolivia.
yeah, that there have been some steady 50 people out there. And I'm talking to you people right now. Thank you. The fact that you stopped what you were doing throughout your busy week and listened to two middle-aged men in the Midwest talk about bullshit all day
Whatever.
long. Yeah. Thank you. Because believe it or not, for the 6 years you helped me you helped me do that. But transitioning back to my friend Greg here, buddy, without this podcast, I wouldn't know you, I feel, as well as I do. You opened me to a whole new world of Dungeons and Dragons, which I thought would never happen. You opened me to a world of not just, God, man, not just looking at the world through my view, but every time that we had something happen in the world and we jumped on this podcast, you'd always offer me a point of view that I never thought of. And because of you, that opened up my eyes to more, and it opened up my idea to, or broadened my horizons. I'll just say it like that. But Greg, I love you, man. And I'm not, it hurts because there's a part of me that, I mean, we're always going to communicate. We got D&D every other Wednesday now. So it's not like
and Sundays since you brought your
and
family.
Sundays now. Yeah. And so it's not like we're not going to see each other again, but this podcast became special since you've been a part of it. And it's just, I love you, man. And I don't know how else to say it. And you know what? It's not just you, Greg. It's the fact that Marshall, a guy I didn't know about, jumped on here, has hardly ever missed an episode. Cousin Clay. We have a few really good, loyal fans, including your mom, who has watched us and
commented and made you cookies. And
I mean, God, the Christmas, and look, man, if I could have made this like our final goodbye as a very special, extravagant, like the best smile in Hollywood. I hope you're hearing us, Danny. We loved you. We love that you jumped on.
Yeah.
We love that you connected us with some people that we would never talk to. I believe we were, what was it, 1 or 2 degrees away from Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty close. I talked to one of my favorite authors of all time. The fact that he even responded to us and jumped on here not once, but I think 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times we had him.
Yeah, we had him on.
A handful of comic book people, like Pat Shand was on.
God.
Laura Coconato, who was a producer for Netflix. I mean, she was fantastic to have on.
Yeah, very fun to talk to. She talked to us a bunch offline.
Her brother, Bob, who is still doing Bob's Dance Studio. If you see a flash mob happen and you happen to be in New York or San Francisco or LA, and you see a tall, lanky, and a bunch of dudes just get up and start dancing, there's a pretty good chance that that's Bob. And Bob was fantastic.
Yes. The guy that I forgot what it is, but there are walking trails throughout our entire country.
Oh yeah, the Wandering Kiltsman.
Yeah, the Wandering Kiltsman, and this guy has done them all. Had no idea what went into that, but now
through
I do.
hiking. Yep.
Darren Hafford, thank you for jumping on.
Oh, Darren. Yeah.
Yeah.
Darren, I mean, and people that we know are connected to outside of podcasting, guys like Matt, who runs the movie theater, which I have done my very best to try to pimp out here as much as I can.
Yeah. The movie master himself.
Ken.
Yeah.
Ken. I mean, Ken. Jesus.
Yes.
I mean, the guy has more. He has forgotten more about movies than I think I ever did.
I agree with that. We met for 5 seconds. You guys can find it. John Carpenter.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. The fact that that Sandy, her husband is John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Greg made a great connection with Sandy.
Sandy King. Sandy King.
Yeah, thank you. And
Sandy King at Comic-Con.
He was sweet enough to come on here not once but twice.
Yeah.
And
one of the times she was at her house and John popped his head in. Hey boys, how's it going? And I was like, oh my God.
It's the first time I ever watched Greg lose it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
Which
usually pretty calm around celebrity type people, but
yes,
when John Carpenter says, "Hey Greg, how's it going?" You're like, "What?"
yeah, yeah. I can't thank you enough, Greg, for when we had on people that I had no idea who they were, and you led the podcast and just saved my ass from those moments where I had no idea.
We had that country band, and
Yeah, yeah,
you
the
haven't
country
listened
band.
to country music ever, like since I've known you. You
Nope,
don't listen to
nope.
country
But
music.
you know what's funny? Ever since that podcast, I think I prefer country more than anything now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a
Um,
big fan of country music. I prefer it's great to work out to. It's great to do lawn work. It's great to sit there and just chill out in the backyard. Yeah, God, we have had a lot of good times here actually. And for those of you who are wondering if you should jump in and do a podcast, do it. Have fun.
yeah.
In fact, we have a friend that jumps on every now and then, Tina. I've told her that what she should do is get people to come over to her house, cut their hair, and show a
I'll
pot
just
and have
have the conversation while they're in the chair. Yeah, that'd
yeah,
be cool.
have a podcast. I said, I guarantee you start getting people you would never think you'd be cutting their hair. I guarantee you
Yeah.
it'll start setting up. But we'll see what she does with that.
Well,
Anyway,
and I mean, as much as this is the end of this podcast, it might not be the end of Johnny and the Greg on a podcast. I mean,
that's true.
we have a good friend of ours who's part of our D&D group. He has a podcast called The Video Age, which everybody
Yes,
should go take a listen to.
they absolutely should.
He watches bad movies and then talks about them.
Yeah.
I did an episode where he had me watch a way out there Nicolas Cage movie that I did not realize what I was getting into.
Yeah.
But if Sean has, I could see an episode coming up where we're both on there with Sean. I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just things we've talked about D&D live play podcasts.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this of like how some of the people that I follow on social media, they've had podcasts. They've had
Mhm.
2 or 3 podcasts, and
Mhm.
you know, some of them last 5 episodes, some of them last 170 episodes. Um, and then they close down for a little bit and they start up something new. So who knows? NFL could come back around and we could do Sunday nights,
Yeah.
armchair quarterback kind of stuff. Who knows?
It's funny you said that because I can see myself once it's gone missing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so I could see us having a resurgence. It's Greg made a good thing. There is something that we've tossed an idea around that who knows if it'll come to be. I'm not going to spoil it any further than that, but we'll see. So this isn't goodbye forever. This is just goodbye for now, I
It's
guess. Is the
and,
easiest way
and
to say it.
things grow and change, and
Yeah.
this format maybe isn't anymore. This schedule maybe isn't it, because that's really what kind of killed us is the schedule
Yeah.
of we went from, I mean, doing, I think we went almost 5 years of every Sunday night,
Every Sunday night.
and that is a commitment.
Yes.
And it's not just the live stream. There's the whole thing on the back end of getting it posted and everything else that takes time.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through 3 jobs since we've done this. I mean,
Yes.
just hopping different places to work. I mean, so things change in people's lives, and maybe this format, the Sunday night, we went from every night or every week to every other week to when can we fit it in? So maybe it turns into a quarterly podcast.
It could be. It could be. I will remember a couple of other episodes I remember is when we had on your nurse friend to break down COVID-19.
Oh, yes. We had nurse.
One is our
Erica.
highest rated podcast ever. Because I
Yeah.
think we were one of the first people podcast wise that tackled it. I think.
Yeah. I mean, with a medical professional, which
Yeah.
she very much is.
Yeah.
And I
we-
think she has a following in herself of people she works with that were like,
Yeah.
oh, we want to hear this as well. So
yeah. So that was
that went pretty far. One. We had the first African or the first Black teacher in a school district here in Wisconsin. She's up in Portage. We had her on during the George Floyd incident.
Yep.
And I mean, that was eye opening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very
when
much
we
so.
started this, it was like COVID hit and the George Floyd murder hit. So we had plenty to talk about.
Yeah, we had a lot to talk about. We talked about God damn. I mean, there were times where we would talk about Marvel, and then we
Mhm.
go into gun rights,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and it just turned into, and here's one thing that's fun, and I hope you queued one up today. Polymammer. I think it's one of
Mm.
the coolest things that has ever happened on this podcast because it opened me up to music that I didn't want to hear, and then music I didn't know I wanted to hear, but I actually really enjoyed it. Um, and I'm trying to think of, and I remember the smile on your daughter's face when you had her talk to Laura Coconato
Oh my
about Zac
God.
Efron,
Yeah. Yeah. That
right?
was
And the
huge.
fact that, and it was funny too, because my life goal, I'm like, from that moment was like, we got to get Zach on here so she can talk to Zach for like 5 seconds.
We were close. We
We
were
were
close.
we were super close, and
We
that's
were
the other thing
super
that
close to getting him
a lot
on.
of people don't know about this is it's really hard to get
Yeah.
consistent guests on this show. I think on any show, unless you have a full-time producer working the phones
Yeah.
for you. But
It it was tough to get guests,
Mhm.
especially when we're the size that we are. Um, we had people that were like absolutely, um, absolutely, I'll come on, like at the drop of a hat.
Yeah,
And then there were people that were like, yeah, I can come on. And then like a night or two before
they would cancel.
they would cancel and say, you
Yeah.
know what, can't make it. I almost had my favorite author on
Yes, you did.
by Jim Butcher, and he canceled literally the day of, and it was his assistant that emailed us and said, "Well, Jim's not able to make it. I think he had a
Yeah.
flight change or something," and I was
Right.
just like, "Damn it."
Yeah,
Eh,
yeah. So I guess that's if I have one regret, that's one is that I felt like I got my author, but you didn't get yours.
Nah, that's
Um,
fine.
we were this close to having Thor's stunt double. We were this
Oh,
close.
that's right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot
he was
about
that
that
close
guy.
to hopping on. Uh, but then he found out our viewership on a
Was
part of it.
not real big, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Mm,
And he
we
was like, "No
tried,
thanks, no
we
thanks." But we
tried
tried. We
forever."
tried. We got him. I got him twice on email, and his agent said no. But
Yeah,
um,
we tried forever to try to get a female stunt
stunt
performer
woman
on,
forever. That's right.
and again, really hard to connect with them, and unless you're going to lay the money down
That's true.
and get certain email lists.
Yeah.
um but the to I don't know if this is anything to do with us. I'm going to say it does though, because who's going to stop me? The Oscars are going to recognize for the first time next year, they're going to recognize stunts as a category.
We talked about
um
that.
and I want to say that we had some small part
We
because
did. I'm going to say
we were
that.
such a
I'm going to say that.
proponent.
We were. We were. Yeah. So, Sean, if you're just joining us, I don't know if you know this or not. This is the last podcast.
Yeah, last
Um,
podcast for the
yeah.
foreseeable future.
Yeah. So, moving on to the bigger, better thing. Clay, I don't think you want to watch me do a Bears breakdown with Johnny.
Every
You
week.
don't. A lot of crying. A lot of
Well,
crying is going to happen for sure.
I mean, what the hell am I going to do with this thing now? Like, what am I going to do? I
Yeah,
burn
that's a
it?
good.
Do
No,
I
you don't
just
burn it. You just give it
just
to me.
drop
I'll
it at your
trade you.
house?
I'll trade you my Green Bay one that I have sitting here that I tend to have wore the entire time. In fact, what's funny is last year is the first time you ever wore it, right?
First time I ever wore it. Yep.
Yeah, first time I ever wore it in 6 years of a podcast.
Yeah. Yep.
So, uh, yeah, that's it. Well, I got a tattoo on this podcast.
Oh yeah, we got tattooed. I
Yeah,
forgot about that episode. I just
yeah,
yeah. Yep, we did
yeah.
that.
We did a lot
Bridget
of
was
that.
on. Bridget was on
Yep.
a couple times.
Bridget was on to calm me down the first time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. And
we switched.
she had full like fright makeup on. You remember she had
Yeah.
the fun contacts in.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
fantastic. Um, gosh, well, we had my brother on a couple times when we were talking
did.
cop stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Sean, if you want to watch back at this, we just talked about the Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We broke down a thousand movies. We
Yeah.
broke down.
Ton.
Um,
We did our top like in genres. Like, did we do fight scenes? Top fight scenes? Did we do that?
I would like to think we did. Now
Let's say
here's
we
the
did.
fun thing, guys. If you guys are new to this, Because what I can see us happening, Greg, is that this podcast actually picks up steam when we're gone.
Just a
Yeah.
year later, it's like, when are you guys putting out new episodes?
Yeah,
And you're like,
exactly. I can
oh,
see that. I can see it picking up. I'm not removing anything from YouTube, so the archive is there. Anytime you want to go through the entire archive, I think we're at episode 198 of, I'm sorry, 199 of Johnny and the Greg podcast. But there was Topic Thunder. There was when I was just kind of standalone interviewing
yeah,
people.
you had a couple episodes of like
Yeah,
your brother-in-law's on or something.
I had about, I think I had 10 episodes. You were in 3 of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's yeah, God, I this podcast has been around as long as my daughter.
Mhm. Well, that's really what got us started. You wanted to just do me giving you dad advice. And I'm like, I don't think I have every Sunday for how many years on of just straight up dad advice. No, a clip show. Yeah, well, maybe we could do that. Just one, just like a super clip show for 200.
Oh gosh, you guys are expecting me to
Edit it all together. Yes, we are.
edit 199 episodes to give you a 200 clip show.
Oh,
Um
you know what? You just do what is it? 1 minute from each show, and then you end up with a 200-minute show.
yeah, you know what? You know what? I think I am gonna do that. I don't know when that's coming out though.
Yeah.
But I am gonna because I knew I think I have a month with my editing equipment before it's over. So now all of a sudden we got a bunch of people following now. By the
It's
way,
probably because they just saw our post saying, "Hey, on a very special Johnny and Greg."
yeah. For those of you that showed up late to the show, this is the last podcast of Johnny and the Greg. We're not doing it anymore for the unseen future. Um, it show ends at 199. I actually wanted to end it at 200, but such is life. But
I
like
like the
Sean,
clip show idea. I like the clip show.
I actually do too. I think I might actually do a minute of
Yeah, you know,
200. Yeah.
was it? There's the whole. I mean, again, going back to parenting. I know when we had my kids and they were babies, they're like, if you video 1 second a day for a year, you end up like with a however many minute video.
Really?
Yeah, and it's
So
like just
365.
yeah,
That would be what?
like 6 minutes.
1 minute. Yeah. 1 second.
Um. So anyway, too glad you didn't get that Johnny and the Greg tattoo. Well, I did, and I don't know what I'm going to cover with now.
Yeah. The fact that I mean, God,
Our merch store. I was
Yeah.
just going to launch it, man. It was going to
This hat-
go.
this hat's here. If anybody wants this beanie, actually, I'm not
I
going to
will-
give it away. I'm going to keep this.
I was going to say keep that or give
Yeah.
it to me because I
That's
gave,
something special. So
I gave all mine away. I don't know where they're at.
I'm not getting rid of that.
I had a couple of shirts that are like because we had to test quality. We had to do product testing. So I had a couple that are just like the Johnny and the Greg logo is barely visible anymore.
Yeah, this is fucking hot.
Oh yeah, that
Like it's
those
super warm. Like
Yeah.
I can't wear this. Like
You-
I
you
can't wear
can't
this
wear
in the
it-
house. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
that is a dead of winter
Yes.
like thermal beam.
Yes. I should give that to Ursula because she gets cold all the time. So I should give her one of that. Tell her to put on her feet or put on her head, whatever. But yeah, there's not a lot else to say. We said a lot.
Yeah.
16 followers on Twitch. Thank you, followers. Shit, man. It's like I said before. I don't know if you guys have ever for the people out there, the 50, the 16 followers. I think we have 101 subscribers. It's not a lot. I get it. You know, Mr. Beast blows us away. I
Oh
understand that.
God.
But the fact that
You can't compete when someone that was a child star in the 80s and launches a random, murder podcast or true crime podcast and immediately gets 3 million followers.
yeah,
Two guys who never did any kind of thing for stardom can't compete.
that's the other thing too. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We just said, let's just try this. Oh, we need mics. I got a mic for Christmas.
Yeah.
This is from Greg.
Well, and I think about like the Basement Yard, who is a podcast that's really big that my daughter really enjoys. That is two childhood friends, but they hit it at the right time and they were able to invest enough in multiple stuff, and they have like a full set.
Yeah.
They live by each other so that they can, record together. And those are guys that, if we were to become something, that would have been a good thing to become. But
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
it is so luck of the draw.
Yeah. But then again, I'm just happy this brought us closer, to be honest.
Yeah,
If I'm
totally.
going to pull one thing from this entire experience is not only did we share the experience of doing this and talking
Mhm.
to people we never thought we'd talk to, and then talking to people that shit, maybe we can get them. Oh my God, we got them. And
Yeah.
um, the fact is, I've grown closer to you, and I think like I said to the people that, and we are repeating ourselves, but some people have just joined us. Um, I talked to Greg literally every week for 6 years,
Mhm.
and that's cool based off of the fact that before this, I talked to him once every
Yeah,
like
it was like every couple months.
yeah, it was like quarterly. I would call him
Yeah.
every year. So, I'm man, I'm super appreciative of you, and you've taught me a lot. I've grown a lot. Um, I look
Well, you're
forward to
stuck with me
continue
now because
growing.
we're not
Yeah,
going back to that.
that's true. That's true. So, um, but for all the D&D people that are listening, I'm not shutting down the Zoom, so we're good. We're good with that. So we'll continue to do that. But
We still have that format.
yeah, yeah. But other than that, this is your time, Clay, Sean, Marshall. Any questions you guys got that you just dying to know or you want to embarrass us on live Twitter, on the live Twitterverse? I'll answer it for you. We'll wait a little bit. We're about 55 minutes in. But Greg, what's your favorite memory
Wait,
here?
oh gosh, there's so many.
Yeah. I really like Laura Coconato.
Yeah, Laura was great. I like Danny. I mean, Danny was fantastic. I wish we could have got her on a little bit more.
That thumbs up was to you, Marshall. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean the bringing you into D&D, which is something I knew you would like it. Like as soon as you could get over the learning curve and get into the creative piece of it, I knew you would like it.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing that came out of here.
And poor
Uh,
Tony's suffering from the consequences of it.
every once in a while, I'll get a text from Tony. You'd be like, "Oh, Johnny's on a roll."
hmm Yeah, it's actually it's scary actually. You should see the internal battle of no, you've talked to him 55 times today. Like don't talk to him anymore. But there's an internal battle of like it's like Greg, I don't know if you're like this or not, but when you get once it gets rolling in your head, the ideas,
Mhm.
it's like you got to spill them out before you lose them.
I would
So,
like to do that. Sometimes I don't, but I should leverage some of the tools that I have at my disposal a little bit more, especially when I'm in the car. Because a lot of that happens when you know, a lot of it happens when I'm mowing the lawn, doing
yeah,
housework, or
yeah,
commuting.
yeah,
Um, and I just can't stop what I'm doing to like type it in or jot it down or whatever.
right.
But there are tools out there where I could just be like, I'm gonna talk to you can talk it out. Like you can, hop on a chat GPT, you can do a teletext or something and just,
Yeah,
talk out your idea.
yeah. You have three, I would say three, maybe four really good because I think your kids are equally different, but at the same time the same. So I think you could have three interesting people that would give you an honest opinion. Because I look, the last thing I'm going to say, and I've said this to 100 people, but you should write. You really should. You got
Yeah.
talent. You got talent. You just need to find an idea that gives you the passion to where you don't want to leave the project and just go.
Well, and it's my writing exists in this space. Like I don't think I could do a whole novel of something like that level of world building. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you could. You just got to start small, build it up.
oh, Sean just said the last Airbender. I own the last Airbender RPG. Like I kickstarted that thing, and my family was really into it, like really into the show when the Kickstarter came out, and then it was like 2.5 years. I feel like before it
What are we talking about?
got the print. Sean, who's Marshall's brother, said if we ever want to hit up ever want to try the Last Airbender or Monty Python role playing games, like he's
Okay.
got them. And the Avatar, the Last Airbender, you know what that is, John?
I do.
The show from Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the full RPG set. Where I flipped through the book and I've watched videos on how to play.
Yeah.
But by the time I eventually got it like in my hands, my family had like moved on. Like they didn't want to try it.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. This was an expensive Kickstarter.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. Do you
Yeah.
have polyamory?
I am gonna I wasn't sure how much I was gonna leave up of like the extra stuff, our Facebook page, our Instagram account, the Polyjamory list.
Yeah.
I'll leave them up for a little bit, I guess.
Might as well.
So here, here's a song that I've been kind of blaring on my way to work just to kind of get jazzed up for work. It is a D&D style song.
Okay.
It is from a group called Endless Tavern. Let me find their stuff. Spotify has changed its format every once in a while to where you're like, hey, show me the thing where we used to get like the bio of people.
Play.
Okay, so
I don't know if I'm excited about Toxic Avenger or not. I have no idea. I'm just
there's
letting
good
you know.
people in it. I would certainly watch it.
Yeah. I'll watch it for sure, but
I was a little bummed when I found out that Peter Dinklage only plays Toxie before. And then as soon as he gets all melted, it's just a dude in a suit.
oh,
And he's just voicing the character after that.
got it. I'm looking forward to what's that damn Ballerina, the John Wick.
Ballerina looks good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see Sinners. And when that
Good? Is it
becomes
good?
available, it is a damn near perfect movie.
I heard
Maybe even a
everybody's talking
perfect
about
movie.
it. Yeah, people are talking about that.
It is fantastic. Not a lot of bio for Endless Tavern. But so the song Action Surge
Okay.
is what they have. It's based off of. Have you done much reading on your new fighter?
My new fighter?
Yeah, your new fighter that you made for our
Have I
Sunday
done
night group.
reading on him?
Yeah, like all of his powers and stuff, or at least the beginning ones. Part of the fighter thing is that they have. It's called
Action Surge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Action Surge
Okay.
by Endless Taverns.
I march through fields of shattered shields, discipline as my guide. No patron's boon, no stolen spells, just steel and stubborn pride. 100 ways to swing a blade, 100 foes to fight. But there's two techniques that work no matter how modified. Action surge, another chance, my spirit will not yield. And second wind, I'll rise again, these scars are bound to feel. I embrace raw prowess, honing my body to its peak. A champion of mortal grit, my crits leave tyrants weak. With riposte, strip, disarm, or feint, my repertoire's quite grand. I weave a tapestry of moves beyond a brute's command. Action surge. I trace a glyph.
Marshall, you hit it out of the park. That's exactly too fast for me. Too fast for me. It's funny when you played that, Greg, and you say you listen to that movie or you listen to that song as you're like getting ready for work. It reminds me of that scene in The Office where Dwight and Jim are about to go on a sales call.
Oh
and
yeah.
Dwight shuts the car door and plays Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah, kickstart my heart, and he's just
Kickstart my heart.
sitting there, and Jim's just sitting out there in the freezing cold, just sitting there.
Yeah,
listening.
just waiting for him.
Yeah. It totally reminded me of that. I can see you doing that on the way to work.
It goes through like when you actually have played a fighter a lot, which I have.
Yes.
When you hear the lyrics, it's just like, we don't need your spells, we don't need your your puny patrons or anything. It's just about raw metal and steel. And I'm like, oh, this is such a good time. Just white knuckling it out of the way.
That's awesome. Oh shit, man! I can't believe this is the last podcast. If I'm being honest.
Well, again, it's the last for now.
Yeah, last for now.
Who knows what we're gonna do?
Today, besides it being Memorial Day, is National Paper Airplane Day,
Oh,
as well as Blueberry Cheesecake Day. Do you like cheesecake?
I do like.
You do. What kind of cheesecake do you like the most?
I like strawberry and cherry the best.
Cherry.
I like cherry.
You like cherry pie?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can't stand
Yeah,
cherry
I
pie.
do. Yep. Get a lot of
Like
that.
I think I could.
Oh,
What do you say?
Clay just asked her body count.
My body count for what?
Oh, you don't know what that means?
My body count?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he asking me or he's asking?
I believe no. I think because you said ask him anything. They could ask you anything. This,
My no,
this
I don't
was
know.
your chance.
Oh, is body count like sex?
Yeah. How many people have you slept?
Oh God, Clay, come on. Clay,
Yeah.
actually, you know what?
You know what? Johnny lost count about his second year of college. Is what he's really saying. Is like it's just
Don't
a
get me in
blur.
trouble. Don't get me in trouble. Clay, we need to actually hang out once. I need to meet you, shake your hand, have a beer with you, and then I'll tell you my body count. If
maybe
I
check.
fucking remember. Do you remember your body count, Greg?
Well, sure, because it's so low, John. You know.
Oh, that's right. You're all virtuous. That's right. I forgot. Yeah, you got me red, Clay. Yeah.
Funny.
I think we're
That's it.
there, man. So, for the last time, Greg, take us out.
For the rest of your days, when people are on your nerves and you disagree with them, which is going to happen vehemently, it's going to happen. Just remember, don't be a douche.
There you go. For the Greg. This is Johnny saying, have a great rest of your lives, people. We love you. Take care. Podcast out. So long.
My face.